Hello, true believers! It's time for another episode of my extremely irregular reviews. Last time, we discussed some of my favorite comic books, and now, after seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I just have to talk about it. Because the MCU spark is ignited in me once again. MCU movies were lately more like consumer products than creative flicks. I'm not saying it's not enjoyable, but you could see their formula repeating over and over. There were some original ideas here and there, like Infinity War, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, or Shang-Chi. But all of it was being overshadowed by a lot of bland things like Guardians 2, some Spider-Man, Black Panther, Ant-Man 2, Captain Marvel, Endgame, Black Widow, or even Moon Knight. So I obviously returned to DC, where I'm always surprised with their passionate and creative projects. But with the return of Stan Lee's craziest fan, Sam Raimi, I was hoping for a sweet change, and I wouldn't be here talking about all of this if I haven't got one. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Raimi's work, let me give you a few essential facts. When he was 20 years old, he made The Evil Dead. Along with Bruce Campbell, his best friend, they managed to raise $85,000 from multiple investors in Detroit. They didn't have any previous feature films, so to convince possible investors, they shot a short movie called Within the Woods. Sam Raimi took the screenplay to The Evil Dead, took a number of elements from it, and wrote a 30-minute story. This showed to the investors exactly in what movie they were getting into. Evil Dead 2 was financed based on the success of the first one and cost about $3.5 million. But because each of the Evil Dead movies is owned by a different company, they couldn't make a proper sequel. Evil Dead 2 is essentially a remake of the first one and at the same time a sequel. The third one is Army of the Darkness, which is a cult classic and it's certainly the funniest of them all.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick. It's a 12-gauge double-barreled Remington, S-Mart's top of the line. You can find this in the sporting goods department. That's right, this sweet baby was made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Retails for about $109.95. It's got a walnut stock, cobalt blue steel, and a hair trigger. That's right, shop smart. Shop S-Mart.
And there's a little interesting fact for you. Most of Sam Raimi's movies have an appearance of Uncle Ben's car and Bruce Campbell. His next great movies are, for example, A Simple Plan, The Gift, Spider-Man Trilogy, and Drag Me to Hell. Now, let's move into the present day and have a look on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I obviously had a blast, and I have high hopes for the future of MCU, mainly because Kevin Feige's grip is slowly loosening up. That means giving more creative control to individual directors and more ballsy projects like this. The movie will drag you in right from the start with an action scene where new characters are introduced and things just go crazy. After that, we get a little breather, few old characters show up, Wong is as good as ever, and even Wanda is really great. She never had proper place in previous movies, so I'm glad writers finally gave her justice. And as the movie goes on, we go deeper in the multiverse. Therefore, Sam Raimi's creativity unleashes more and more. There are instances where you can clearly see those crazy camera moves and angles, classic close-ups and points of view. I can't be too specific due to spoilers, but there are so many original ideas. For example, clever usage of reflections, mind control, reality bending, even a music battle, which was my favorite scene. While we're at it, soundtrack is gorgeous. There were times I was literally vibing in my seat, so many great moments. All thanks to another legend, Danny Elfman. You know his work from Tim Burton's Batman or first 2 Spider-Man movies. The villain is great, sympathetic and very uncompromising. Where he goes, death is a certain companion. And even though the second act suffers from a studio involvement, it's not as bad as you might think, because when the third act hits, you'll be at the edge of your seat. In conclusion, for a long time now, DC was the clear go-to if you wanted to dive into personal and passionate projects created by true artists. Todd Phillips, Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder or Matt Reeves, for example. With Sam Raimi's return into the Marvel Universe, I am happy to report that MCU has again enough style, creativity, personality and heart. It gave me hope that in the future we might actually see Deadpool 3. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye guys!